We tend to look at the North American porcupine as a walking fortress. It's an animal wrapped in thousands of barbed needles, carrying a reputation so intimidating that most predators in the forest instinctively give it a wide berth. Despite that perfect armor, a porcupine's daily life is an exhausting, highly restrictive struggle. The timeline of that struggle starts in the very first hour of life. A porcupine is born with soft quills that lie flat against its body, but within 60 minutes, they stiffen and press outward, forming a functional defense system almost immediately. That armor works. When opportunistic threats like raccoons or ravens get too close, the mother doesn't need to make physical contact. She stamps her feet, raises her own quills, and swings her tail until the predators turn and walk away. While the armor stops these early threats, it also tethers the porcupine to a hyper-specialized biology. The biological needs of these quills will soon govern how it eats, how it interacts with its kind, and how it survives the winter. By the 5-month mark, maternal support vanishes. The mother moves further away each day until she is gone entirely, leaving the juvenile to face a heavy, hidden biological tax. This animated diagram breaks down the porcupine's internal chemistry, showing the constant, severe depletion of calcium and sodium. Growing and maintaining a dense coat of keratin quills, along with the heavy teeth required to feed, drains the body of these minerals far faster than regular foraging can replace them. To counter this deficit, they seek out unconventional, non-plant food sources. They spend hours chewing on old, dry bones found on the forest floor, or digging into loose patches of earth to pull minerals straight from the soil. When winter hits at the 8-month mark, the ground-level plants die back. The young porcupine must now perform slow, metabolically expensive vertical climbs up tall pine trees, hauling its weight into the canopy just to strip and eat the softer wood up top. These quills are a hungry engine. Sustaining them restricts where the animal can go, what it must eat, and how much energy it has to burn just to stay alive in the cold. Against young, naive predators, like a fox that takes a tail full of quills to the nose, the defense system is flawless. But around years 1 and 2, interacting with their own species reveals a different kind of exhaustion. Because their defenses are mutually lethal, porcupines cannot fight to resolve territorial disputes. If 2 of them want the same hollow oak tree, they engage in static standoffs. They sit near the trunk with their quills raised and teeth chattering, sometimes for 2 weeks, burning through weight and missing crucial feeding windows. The solitary mating process demands the same brutal endurance. 2 males will block each other for the female by endlessly circling the same tree, keeping their armored backs raised. They hold their positions until one simply tires out and gives up, followed by immediate, permanent isolation. Within their own species, these impenetrable defenses make direct conflict resolution impossible. Simple social interactions turn into perilous, starvation-risking wars of attrition. By the 4-year mark, a mature porcupine has reached maximum quill density. The armor is a thick, formidable layer covering its back and sides. But this is exactly when it encounters older, specialized threats, like a veteran fisher cat. This tactical diagram maps out the fisher cat's hunting strategy. It never strikes the armor directly. Instead, it uses precise, circular movements to constantly outflank the porcupine's defensive tail swing radius, searching for an opening to strike the unarmored face. The porcupine must match every one of the fisher cat's movements, maintaining a constant rotation that shifts the pressure from the armor to the animal's cardiovascular stamina. A single slow turn allows the fisher cat to slip past the tail and rake the porcupine's face. Even if the porcupine manages to land a defensive blow and drive the predator away, it is left bleeding, exhausted, and stripped of its territorial confidence. The psychological defeat forces the porcupine to abandon its established range. At 4 years old, it has to expend massive amounts of energy starting over in unfamiliar woods, searching for new mineral patches and feeding trees from scratch. The armor only keeps them alive if they have the cardiovascular agility to wield it. As their reaction time slows down, aging becomes their absolute greatest vulnerability. At 7 years old, the porcupine's quills are longer and more imposing than ever, but its physical strength has faded. The claws still grip, but steep climbs take longer, and legs require frequent stops to recover. Having exhausted the bark on the lower trunks, the aging animal is forced to climb higher into the thinned canopy to find softwood. It pulls its heavy body up past the point where branches can comfortably support its weight. Out on a thin fork, the branch bends. The claws dig in, but the wood gives a sharp crack. The branch breaks away from the trunk entirely, taking the porcupine down through the lower limbs. The heavy porcupine hits the forest floor on its back, and the broken branch lands directly on top of it. In that moment, its own defensive quills drive straight into the heavy wood above, pinning the animal immovably to the ground. The porcupine's survival strategy is a series of trade-offs. The same quills that offer protection also demand high metabolic costs and enforce a solitary life, eventually turning from a protective shield into a lethal weight on the forest floor.